This mom is truly insane. One moment she was mourning her husband, and the next she was kissing Yokadera right in front of her husband's memorial. And what's even more ridiculous is that this was actually her first kiss, which means she and Tsukasa only had a kid together without doing anything else? Turns out, when Tsukasa learned he didn't have much time left, he asked Tsukiko's mom to preserve her first kiss until someone appeared who could swear to never let her be lonely again. And in the end, that benefit went to Yokadera, this pervy, lazy dude. Not long ago, Yokadera helped Tsukiko's mom to the kitchen to drink some water, but for some reason ended up in her bedroom. Meanwhile, Azusa, who was playing cards, sensed something was off. It was just water, so why weren't they back yet? Tsukiko suspected the two were doing something indecent, and the next second, a strange sound came from Tsukiko's mom's room. Azusa immediately couldn't sit still anymore. She didn't expect Tsukiko's mom would take this chance to eat poop of sin, so she rushed straight to the room. But the scene she expected didn't happen? Insane! Everyone saw Yokadera's current state. He was so embarrassed that he passed out on the spot. All the girls instantly turned into mourners at a funeral. Luckily, Tsukiko's mom immediately thought of how to wake Yokadera. She dragged Emi into the next room. 5 minutes later, she returned with a prince who could awaken a sleeping princess. After all, Yokadera was currently cross-dressing. To wake him up, a prince's kiss was needed. Gotta say, Tsukiko's mom thinking of this method, pure divine grace. With this fairy tale buff applied, of course Yokadera woke up. Insane. The out-of-place Yokadera threw a little tantrum, deciding to take a bath first before saying anything. The moment Tsukiko and her mom heard this, they instantly sprang into action. One calling the servant to bring a whip, the other turning on the silent camera. Their expressions alone made their intentions perfectly clear. Ponta was also quite interested. He had never seen Yokadera's kun before. Emi also thought that to welcome a beautiful night, studying her boyfriend's body in advance was perfectly reasonable. Seeing this, Tsukushi decided to follow too. Of course, this was just because she didn't want to fall behind. Definitely not because she wanted to peek. Only Azusa raised an objection. After all, if Yokadera found out, it might ruin their image in his heart. But Emi said, as long as we don't get caught, nobody gets hurt. To spare Azusa the guilt, Azusa wrapped her in a bedsheet, like a sushi roll. Meanwhile, Yokadera, who was showering, had already predicted this. Knowing Tsukiko and her mom would definitely try to sneak a peek or come in under the excuse of helping scrub his back, he had wrapped a scarf securely around his waist in advance. But little did he know, it wasn't just the mother-daughter duo with such ideas. At that moment, Ponta had already tied a rope and climbed outside the bathroom window. But the window was fogged up, only blurry shapes were visible. Ponta had to press his face right up to the glass. Unexpectedly, he made a sound. Yokadera turned and saw a ghostly silhouette on the window. Seeing this, the girls quickly pulled Ponta up. When Yokadera looked again, the silhouette was gone. With lingering fear, he quickly finished washing up. But to his horror, a real ghostly figure appeared in the window. At the same time, Azusa refused to sit still. If they committed a mistake now, the consequences would be serious. Thinking this, Azusa took action, rolling her way towards Yokadera down the stairs with a glorious drift turn heading straight for the bathroom. At this point, Tsukiko's mom had led everyone up the attic stairs. From there, one could look directly into the bathroom, a perfect spot to enjoy the view from above. The group crawled their way up, only to be startled by a furry creature passing by. Panic ensued. The noise made Yokadera tense again, and Azusa rolled into the bathroom just then. Insane! Azusa was so shocked that she had a nosebleed and fainted on the spot. Yokadera immediately carried her out, only to run into the others descending from the attic. As for the furry creature, it was actually the cat playing tricks again. The others explained to Yokadera that they were just playing hide-and-seek, so they somehow ended up in the attic. Unexpectedly, pig teammate Tsukushi stepped forward. Yokadera then held a family meeting to scold them all, but Azusa's mind was now full of giraffes and elephants. Later, they all returned to playing cards. Tsukiko's mom suddenly remembered something and left the room. Yokadera, worried, followed her again. He found her paying respects to her family. He stepped in to light an incense stick too, but was shocked to see a middle schooler's photo on the altar. She explained that was Tsukasa, Tsukiko's dad. Yokadera was dumbfounded. He didn't expect his ex-brother-in-law to be a middle schooler, which meant Tsukiko's mom had been single since middle school. With her beauty, countless men must have tried pursuing her. Yokadera couldn't understand why she chose such a lonely path. She explained she never forgot Tsukasa. Even though he passed away, she still truly loved him. She felt unworthy of love now, but couldn't help falling for Yokodera. To her, this was unforgivable. Yokodera suddenly hugged her, telling her she didn't need to forget her late husband.
After Yokodera's thunderous three-view value speech, Tsukiko's mom's guilt vanished. She confessed her love for Yokodera right in front of Tsukasa's photo. And then they kissed. After the chaos, everyone finally lay down to sleep. But trouble never ends. Tsukiko secretly crawled next to Yokodera. He woke up from her movements. Tsukiko explained she just wanted to lie beside him. She had thought they'd never be together again. Yokodera comforted her, and they fell asleep in each other's arms. Tsukushi, hearing their conversation, decided to let Tsukiko off the hook this time. But by midnight, Yokodera was awakened by mouse squeaks. He turned and saw Tsukiko and Tsukushi tangled together. The scene was too beautiful for him to process. Planning to use the bathroom, he was shocked to see a familiar figure in the hallway. It was Tsukasa, now appearing as a ghost. For 16 years, he had protected Tsukiko's mom and Tsukiko, but this was his first time seeing someone as genuine as Yokodera. He thanked Yokodera for freeing Tsukiko's mom's heart after 16 years of imprisonment. Now he could rest easy handing over his wife and daughter. His 16-year obsession faded. Bathed in golden light, he disappeared into nothingness. Yokodera suddenly woke up. He wasn't sure if it had all been a dream or real, but either way, this dreaming night was finally over. The lovers all returned to their own worlds. Yokodera, now a master of time management, fairly spoiled each girlfriend at school. Even during lunch, he'd rushed at Tsukiko's house to comfort her mom. Unbeknownst to him, Tsukiko's mom, overwhelmed with longing, bought the entire school Yokodera attended. The creator of this new anime truly knows how to play with references. They even recreated the iconic scene from The Shining. In the last episode, all 4 of Yokodera's girlfriends had turned into zombie girls. Top priority now was getting Emi back to the lab to make an antidote. So Yokodera locked them all on the rooftop and ran with Emi to the lab. But a simple rooftop door wasn't enough to stop zombies. Emi searched her body for useful potions, eventually finding one that could rot the skin. Naturally, Yokodera wouldn't let her use it on his beloved girlfriends. Remember the old dean? Because of Yokodera and Emi's chase through the hallway, the dean appeared again. Emi panicked and splashed the potion on the dean's face. Unable to bear the burn, the dean rushed to the hospital. With the crisis handled, Yokodera and Emi continued toward the lab. Tsukiko, now a zombie, ordered the others to split up and ambush Yokodera. He chose to act as bait, letting Emi go alone. Chasing behind was Azusa. Even as a zombie, her small size made it hard to keep up. Yokodera could have easily outrun her, but Azusa tripped. Seeing her fall, he ran back and carried her to the infirmary. He applied a pain patch on her forehead. After treating the wound, she came to. Still a zombie. She suddenly lunged at him. His mind went blank. But recalling her usual gentle demeanor, he regained clarity and hung her on a clothes rack. After securing Azusa, he stepped out, only to bump into Tsukushi and Emi. Unexpectedly, they used a combo move. They restrained him and took turns kissing him. Unlike Azusa, he couldn't push both away at once. But since zombie girls share their original personalities, Tsukushi and Emi started arguing again. Then he remembered the kiss the zombie setting. He raised their hands and had them kiss each other. Because zombies just want to be with the one they love. And the 3 of them had kissed before. So it totally made sense. After handling those 2, he rushed to the lab, only to find Tsukiko waiting. Panicking, he hid in the supply room, where Emi was hiding too. Given Tsukiko's intelligence, using Yokodera as bait might not work. Emi tearfully regretted everything. Her mischief had brought ruin to the chemistry club. She swore never to develop potions again. While repenting, she found a counteragent. She had carried it as a backup. Now all they had to do was use it on Tsukiko. Emi transformed into her Oni-san form, a mature version Tsukiko wouldn't recognize. As expected, Tsukiko dropped her guard. Emi hugged her from behind. Seeing Emi restrained, Yokodera charged out to lure Tsukiko. Tsukiko chased him into a storage room, breaking down the door like The Shining. Trapped, Yokodera was caught. The credits began to roll, hinting at a bad ending. But then Emi appeared and poured the antidote into Tsukiko's mouth. Turns out, Yokodera knew the potion would wear off, turning Emi back to lowly form,
making it easy for her to slip free from the ropes. He just had to buy her time.
そっか、それで動けるようになったのだ。いや、分かってなかったんですか。
And so, the zombie girl crisis was finally resolved. Tsukushi woke up and wanted to apologize, but she recalled her zombie memories. Emi also apologized, saying all this was her fault. Yokodera said, "It's true you caused it with your potion, but you also saved everyone, so it evens out. No matter what trouble you cause in the future, I'll always help you solve it. Just don't give up on what you love, because what you love, that is your life." Those words deeply moved Emi,